humble administrator's garden was laid out in the Ming Dynasty nearly 500 years ago. The owner of the garden was Wang Xiancheng. He was a successful candidate in a climactic palace examination and an official at the capital. Retired from his post, he returned to Suzhou and built the humble administrator's garden. The idea came from an old quotation: "This is the policy of a humble man." Traditionally, men of letters took part in building the classical gardens of Suzhou. Records show that the famous Ming calligrapher and painter Wen Zhengming, a good friend of Wang Xiancheng, participated in the making of the humble administrator's garden. The age-old wisteria is said to be hand-planted by Wen Zhengming. Covering 51,950 square meters, the humble administrator's garden is divided into the eastern, middle, and western parts. The eastern part of the garden boasts extensive views and idyllic scenes. The middle part of the garden is celebrated for its classic elegance and properly arranged and thoughtfully spaced pavilions, towers, and terraces. The western part of the garden features delightful walkways meandering through the secluded surroundings. The Scholar's Garden is a thematic work of art. Water is the theme of the humble administrator's garden. Water occupies 1/3 of the total area in the middle part of the garden. Whether in the eastern part or the middle and western parts of the garden, about 80% to 90% of the buildings were constructed by the water, featuring the Waterscape garden. The cultivation of lotus blooms in the humble administrator's garden is a tradition, as it is proud of the broad expanse of water. Some garden buildings were named after lotus blooms, such as the Hall of Distant Fragrance, the boat-like fragrant isle, and the pavilion in lotus breezes. Characteristically, the humble administrator's garden possesses another form of lotus, unique miniature lotus cultivated in bowl. It puts out small lotus leaves, only about the size of a bowl, and small lotus blooms resembling wine cups. One cannot help marveling at the mysterious workings of the maker. Chinese garden is a comprehensive work of art, made up of such elements as rocks, water, buildings, and vegetation. Their association is intimate and mutually dependent. Some pavilions are concealed by flowers, and some pavilions lie near to the water, as quoted an instance out of many. Colorful flowers in a garden please the eye as well as the mind. In the course of nature, flowers will open, fade, and be gone. But desolate scenes are absent from the humble administrator's garden, because great attention has been paid to beauty sequence. The garden will reveal the striking beauty of the 4 seasons in the natural order. The zigzag walkway leads to places of quietude is quoted most frequently in describing the walkway in the garden. Following the walkway meandering through the humble administrator's garden, one can feast his eyes on the views and details of the garden that had been ingeniously prepared for, from different angles and different viewpoints, including bridges, pavilions, and latticed windows. All in all, the humble administrator's garden is celebrated for its classic elegance and cultural connotations, affording great pleasures to all those who are present. It will be impressive and rewarding experience whether to make a brief tour of the garden or to make a careful study of it. The sight of classical garden buildings elsewhere and small bridges across murmuring waterways in Jiangnan will definitely trigger off your memories of this famous Chinese garden. the humble administrator's garden.